All right, then. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. All right. So now, next on Enter the Cage, Knowing, which came out in 2009. It was one of those movies that came out around that year that didn't come to my town, my city. Didn't come to my theater. Along with the other movie, Push, and Dragon Ball Evolution. Keep in mind, I only bought this set because I wanted Push. Knowing it was just there. I didn't plan on really watching it again. But then when I decided to do this Nicolas Cage marathon, Enter the Cage as well, I'm like, I'm going to have to actually sit down and watch Knowing again. Weird thing is, I have watched Knowing since my first initial watch. When it's on TV, I'll put it on, but I'll change the channel before the end. Just because the end is the one thing I don't like about this film. So this film was directed by Alex Proyas, who brought us The Crow. Great film, by the way. And, when Alex Proyas was doing this film, he had Nicolas Cage in mind the whole time. No one else but Nicolas Cage to play this role. And for what he has, Nicolas Cage does a terrific job. I will say he's probably the best actor in the film. Rose Byrne is a close second. She plays Diana. So what's the story here? The story is that in 1959, a girl named Lucinda is writing a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper, which is put into a time capsule before she can finish. They then find her scratching at a closet door, down the basement of the school. And 50 years later, Nicolas Cage's son, Caleb, John Kessner is his character, but Nicolas Cage's son, Caleb, is given the note from, because he goes to the same school, from the time capsule, and Cage becomes obsessed with this, starting to find out that it actually connects to real world problems that we had, like real world incidents, like 9/11, stuff like that. The numbers are coordinates, date and time, and how many people will die from those incidents. And there are 3 more incidents left on the paper. One is a plane crash that happens. Another one is on his way to pick up his son. A plane crash happens. And then there is a train accident. And then the third one is something they're trying to figure out. That's the big one, Alex Proyas does a good job of putting to film what he wants us to perceive, what he wants us to see here, what he wants to put out there. He wants to show us, so to speak. He shows us early on with the plane crash, that, shut up, I already fed you. The plane crash, that there's nothing he can do to stop it, especially with all the other incidents that have happened. And then this plane crash happens and he tries to save people, but it's too late. And then the subway train as well. And then he connects with Lucinda's daughter and her granddaughter. And also, these strange men are showing up, and they're talking to Caleb. That's his son. They give him this little black rock. And they're weird looking. Also, Alex Proyas plants the seeds for what the big thing is going to be. We find out from Nicolas Cage, because he's a MIT college professor, and he's doing research, and he finds out that there's going to be a solar flare, a super flare, which will burn out the first two planets of the sun. At least that's from what the little thing he did look like. And will burn out our ozone layer, which will kill us. And so, yeah, we're all dead. That's the ending. Everyone is going to die. Now, Alex Proyas said he wanted to do a film where there's no stopping what's going to happen, where there's no survivors, where everyone dies. And that's what you got with this. But that's not what the trailers showed us. They showed us a science fiction thriller with Nicolas Cage being told when certain incidents are going to happen. And so the trailer showed us Nicolas Cage will be trying to stop bad incidents from happening. That's what was perceived from these trailers. They did not present to us, however, that this movie was about the end of the fucking world and there's no way to stop it. Trailers lie. I've said it before. And they cut that trailer specifically so that we didn't know what the big twist was going to be. Everyone's dead. Yes, the ending of this film has steered me away from watching it. I believe I said I've watched this on TV before, but I'll change the channel before the ending because I don't want to see it. And even this time, I didn't turn it, but I turned the sound off and watched something else on YouTube, so I didn't have to really pay attention to it. But one thing I will say is that, like I said, Nicolas Cage does a good job. Rose Byrne is great. There's some questionable acting. The actress who plays his sister, you can tell that she's Australian because she keeps going in and out of her accent when she's talking to him. I'm like, you're kind of losing your accent there. You're going back, you know. This was filmed in Australia, so there's a lot of Australian actors, including one Terry Camilleri. Don't know who that is. He played Napoleon in the 1989 classic film, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yes, sir. He plays a gas station worker in this. And he's all right. He got small roles, like 5 minutes given. What I don't get is killing off Rose Byrne in a car accident before the whole rest of the world is going to die. I understand the two big incidents that happen in this film, because that's to show him that they're going to happen. They need to have two other incidents. But the fact that they killed her off in a car accident before the world is supposed to explode doesn't really make sense to me. Shouldn't she be able to say goodbye to her daughter? She's not able to because she's dead. And then they said, oh, they being aliens, told me she's safe. No, your mom dead, woman. Yeah, they're aliens. These strange men that come around, they're aliens, trying to save the human race, but they're only taking children. That is bullshit. You think that what? You think aliens would have the technology to be able to transport everyone to another planet? But I think I get why it's doing. They think by taking children who are impressionable, they can take them to this planet, right? And they can teach them the right way to live on this planet without polluting it like we have with Earth. You know? I'm just saying maybe that's why. But if I was in Nicolas Cage's shoes, I would say, you're not taking my son without me. I'm going with him. You're not taking him without me. I don't care if you're an alien and can fry my fucking brain. I'm not staying here. I am going with my son. You will not separate us. You take me with you. I will follow whatever rules you set down on this new planet. Just take me with him. You know? I would not leave my son to go to some strange alien planet with bunnies. But yes, like I said, this ending really didn't work for me. It's apocalyptic. It's an apocalypse movie, and I don't really care for it. As a movie as a whole, I think it's well done. And for that, I'll give it a 6. I think it's well done, but the ending severely ruins it for me. Here's a little funny story, though. See, a friend of mine, it's his birthday today, but friend of mine also wanted to see this based on the trailer. And so he also got this movie. And he hadn't watched it yet, but I did. And I didn't tell him what the movie was about, what happened, because he always tells me, hey, if you watch it before I do, don't spoil anything. So I did not spoil anything. So he calls me a few days later. Hey, why didn't you tell me about this movie and how nobody lives? I'm like, you always tell me not to spoil anything. Well, you could have told me that, then I wouldn't have to watch it. I'm sorry. You know? But anyway, this movie gets a 7 out of 10. 6. 7, 6, whatever. 6 out of 10, whatever I said. I think it was 6. So what are your thoughts on Knowing? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.